Hey, what's up, guys? I'll endeavor to introduce myself real quick. So I go by Hook on my YouTube channel, and that's the channel I use for this video. But on the forum for KZ Rider, I am Ramsey38, I think. So anyway, I'm gonna post a question, but I also want to give you guys a little video update of where I'm at on this KZ 440. You can see some of my other toys in my shop. It's a CB 750 chopper, trail bikes, another Kawasaki that actually runs. So this bike was fully assembled yesterday. I've torn it to pieces and ripped into it. And I wish I could say it's been fun. Every step of this fucker, excuse my French, has been a battle. I mean, everything. Almost every screw that I've tried to take off has been Phillips, or as I understand it, JIS, Japanese Industrial Standard threading. And almost every one of them were nearly stripped and over torqued, massively over torqued, which just ticks me off. So that was a battle getting the carbs off. Maybe you guys know a trick I don't. Nightmare. And this bike started out with no start. You would put it to run, hit the start, solenoid would click. So everything else electrically works. So I tried to diagnose the solenoid, did some multimeter testing. Solenoid was testing good. And I thought, well, I'll just pop the starter. And that's when I found out that, no offense, but Kawasaki maybe didn't have the best design for the starter on this bike. I'm just going to go out there and say that having to rip the engine down to get to the starter, a little frustrating. Maybe that's a normal thing for motorcycles, I don't know. So anyways, yeah, I get it. It was kind of the error for having the starter in the engine. The CB750 that's getting worked on has the same thing. Much easier to get to. But anyway, so I said, well, I got to get the starter out, but why don't I try an in-engine test before I get to that? So took all this down. This thing, I'm guessing, is a starter clutch, I guess. I'm kind of still unfamiliar with these designs, but I think it's something to do with the starter clutch, since that spins one way. So I got her all down, put power to it, hit the start switch. Thing turns real slowly, then stops, then turns really slow. It's bad. Definitely the starter looks like, which is, at least I know what it's at, because in theory, it's the only thing this bike needs to run. So here's where I'm coming to the head of the video and my question for you guys. I have to, man, I really hope I can get these gaskets, by the way. I got to get this starter out, but as I mentioned, everything on this bike has been a nightmare. And I can already see it with the starter screws. They already look like they've been cammed out by some idiot. Not me, believe it or not. That one doesn't look good. This one's the fuck am I supposed to get to that? They're both kind of cammed, which again pisses me off. But if I F these up, I'm really concerned that I'm going to mess the block up. And that's why I'm coming to you guys with some recommendations. If you've got anything for me besides just putting the closest thing I've got to a JIS bed in there and being very careful. What makes it really hard, though, is the block here. That one's extremely difficult to get to. And getting square on it with the tools I have is almost impossible. So what I'm worried it's going to come to is having to drill through these heads like I had on the side of the engine and replace these. And what sucks about that is I hope there'll be enough shank from the bolt for me to extract it with vice grips like I did on the... Oh, well, I'll show you guys. The nightmare of the chain cover right here and clutch, whatever. Had one that was just, it wasn't coming out. So yeah, drilled through it. But on the block, shit makes me way more nervous. 10K on the bike, by the way. So if you guys got any recommendations, man, I have a few ideas for this bike. Some of them involve bastardizing it, and you guys probably wouldn't like it. But I really, ideally, would like to run this motor till it's done. So if you guys have any recommendations here, besides proceed with caution, I know that. But yeah, I would appreciate it, guys. And just a little update. It's an 82 KZ 440, so hopefully here in a few weeks she'll be running. Starter repair kit's on the way, so hopefully I can get the thing going. God, I just wish they had left the kickstart on this thing, or I'd be riding it right now. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Excuse me. See you around the forums, and thanks in advance for advice.